honestly, I feel so bad for the AUR maintainers. Like, the Arch team, it must suck right now to be in the Arch team. So for anyone who, like, completely missed the memo, there was the AUR malware situation from about a month back, and then there was another AUR situation from a couple of days back. This time was not as bad, mostly because they were far more prepared for it happening. I made a video on this one, that being this one here. It happened again, and it's gonna happen again and again and again. And like I said in my previous video, I called it. I knew it was gonna happen. They didn't fix anything. And because they didn't fix anything, the exact same attack vector was used in the exact same way. Wow, who would have ever guessed that if you don't fix the problem and there is a known problem like with your system, immediately upon reopening the system, it's gonna be hit in the exact same way. Who would have even remotely guessed that was gonna happen? Now, there are some people that don't even know what is going on. There's some people who don't even realize that they have actually entirely locked down any pushes, right? So right now, they've not just locked down account signups. They've just gone all out saying, nope, nothing. No new accounts, no new pushes, no new packages, absolutely nothing. We are just putting it entirely on read-only mode. If there is a package you want to download, you can download that package, but no updates, nothing. We right now have no idea how long this is actually going to be for. My hope is that when they do decide to reopen things, they actually decide to go and fix the problem, right? Because I'm telling you this now. If any AUR people are watching this, if any Arch people are watching this, if the AUR is open again, within a day, within a couple of days, within a week, the exact same thing is going to happen again. It's not just a matter of, oh, you got to do email verification and, oh, stop people on disposable email addresses and things like that. Like, these are nice things to have, but they are not going to fix the problem. The problem is with the way that package adoptions are done. The fact that you can just go and adopt a package on any account, there's no verification for this, like, that just cannot be allowed to happen if you want the AUR to be in a at all moderated state. Now, if the goal is to treat the AUR like, where's the post that I saw someone send? Actually, no, I posted it on the Discord. This post here, if the goal is to just treat the AUR as this sort of dumping ground for package builds, hey, be my guest. Like, go right ahead. That is a totally fine thing to do. So this blog post here is talking basically about how people are kind of missing the point of the AUR. The point of the AUR is it's supposed to be this place to find package builds. You're supposed to review things and all this good stuff. And that's great. I think everybody should review package builds. Like, yeah, absolutely. The fact that a lot of people just install things entirely blindly, never really considering what it is they are downloading, that's a bad thing, right? Like, you should be going and checking what you're installing. At the same time, you then have to decide what it is the AUR is going to be. Because if you're going to treat it with this entirely hands-off approach, you then have to make it crystal clear that this is going to be a dumping ground for malware. Like, you have to put, like, giant warning, like, not even just, oh, make sure you review package builds. Like, we are openly hosting malware, right? And I don't think the Arch team wants to put themselves in that situation, because then that puts themselves into a bit of a legal liability when something really bad happens. I would like the AUR to continue functioning the way it always has. That would be nice, right? It would be nice to see it keep happening. But I just don't think that is really possible anymore. I think Arch is at a point now where it is too popular. And when something becomes too popular and you have, like, a giant gaping hole in your security, like, at some point you have to just say, we had our fun, right? We had our good times, and I think now we actually have to do something about it. And that's sad. That is sad, because it's going to make the AUR quite a bit less approachable for new people who want to, like, you know, upload a new package, for people who want to take over old packages. At the same time, though, if it's not dealt with, like, it's just going to honestly lead to more and more burnout, right? Because we can say the AUR doesn't need to change. The point of the AUR is to, like, just find package builds, all this good stuff. But at the same time, every time there is a new malware attack, things get shut down. Everybody is on high alert. Everybody's got to go and do these, like, examinations of the package builds, make sure there's, like, no malware on the AUR. And every time, all it does is just creates more and more and more work for people who are, for the most part, volunteers, who are already pretty overworked, where I just don't see how the approach we are taking right now is sustainable, where every month, every couple of weeks, oh, well, time to shut down the AUR again because there's a big malware attack. Oh, look, there's a bunch of info stealers. That's a problem, right? Like, I just, unless you're just going to say, fuck it, do whatever you want, I don't care anymore. Like, I just don't see how the current model is at all sustainable. But, you know, I know there's been a lot of different approaches on how this problem can be dealt with. I've spoken to some people about some AI scanning stuff where things that go into a package build, then there is a scan that is done, and then, hey, look, guys, if the AI finds something, then you go and delete it. And, like, yeah, that does make sense as a way to deal with things, right? Like, the main problem with the AI stuff, though, is either you're going to run it locally, and then who knows what kind of power you're going to get from that, or you run it online, you, like, run one of, like, the cloud models, then it's a matter of where does the funding for that come from? Do you want to divert funding from Arch Linux itself over to the AUR for dealing with this problem, or is it better to maybe slow down the rate of package adoptions, where, let's say we still have package adoptions, but instead of just, you can grab something, you've got to apply for a package adoption, then somebody has to, like, one of the trusted maintainers has to come along and say, hey, I think that you're okay to take this on, I don't think you are, come back later when you maintain more things like that, right? But then if you can have people in the mix, then that's another thing for the overworked maintainers to be doing, and it's just, it's this situation where I don't think there is a good way out of this. I think no matter what ends up being done, it's going to lead to a AUR that is a degraded experience from what we have now. It's either going to be every other month, every other couple of weeks, whatever it happens to be, we have another shutdown, we have massive cleanup, and then things are just dead for another month after that. Or we do AI scanning, then there's a big cost to that. Or we have people in the mix, and then it's like, oh, well, now things are much slower to get onto the AUR. Or some mix of all the above, right? Like, you can do a thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to have an AI scan, and I'm going to have people in the mix for, let's say you have an AI scan for just general package changes, and then you have a human in the mix for any sort of package adoptions. Something like that. I don't know. Right now, the chaotic AUR is actually a much safer way to use the AUR. The chaotic AUR does have a trusted maintainer system. They do actually go and review package builds every time they bring a new update in. They have a filtered version of the AUR, which makes this actually viable. Yeah. Now, some people are going to say, oh, well, Flatpak is safer because Flatpak's a sandbox. And sure, for certain kinds of malware out there, a Flatpak is going to be safer. If we're talking about, like, a general info stealer, I don't really know if that's viable as a Flatpak. However, you still have a situation where people can impersonate other software as a Flatpak, and it's still not perfect, right? Like, anyone suggesting a packaging solution as a solution to malware, like, that's just not gonna happen, right? even if you just like go to a core repo situation, people can have keys that get stolen, people can have accounts that are compromised, things like that. No solution is perfect. It's just like with all security, right? It's a risk management it's going to be one of these episodes. Apologies for anyone who has issues with like stuttering and falling over words, because it's really going to be a rough one for that. What was I saying? Fuck. Oh, risk management. Yes. Any kind of security is a risk management problem, right? What is like the attack vector that people are using? How much danger are you actually under, right? What are people trying to do? And like, how much are you worth as a target? If you're locking up a bike, this is actually a really good example. If you're locking up a bike, there's different kinds of locks you can buy. You can buy a simple chain lock, one that you can just break with a pair of like side cutters. Or you can get something that's a little bit stronger, where you can't really break it with like a regular pair of side cutters, but if you get hydraulic side cutters, well, now you can break it. Or you can go even further than that and spend like $300 on a bike lock, and the only way to break it is with an angle grinder. Now, some of them do have really shitty locks, and if someone knows how to lockpick, maybe they can get in through that way. But like, there's these different tiers of, okay, where am I storing my bike? What do I need to worry about here? Is this an area where someone is going to reasonably have access to an angle grinder? Is my bike worth bringing an angle grinder to and possibly getting immediately caught because you have a fucking angle grinder? The same thing is true here with the AUR. How much is the AUR worth? How much is it then worth putting users at risk to allow some level of malware, right? Any level of additional security is going to make it less convenient. Great way to look at this is with a password. Obviously, you should be using a password manager, but for people that like to write down their passwords, if it's just anything goes, no password minimum length, it's really easy to write a password. Then you have a minimum length. Don't do maximum lengths. Maximum lengths are really bad. Terrible idea. Stop doing that. But then just like, okay, minimum length. Oh, you need to include symbols and numbers. And, oh, well, you can't actually use passwords that are part of the standard list of dictionary attacks. And, oh, you can't use this, and you can't use that, and you can't use this. And it's just making the password more and more and more complicated. And that's just the trade-off you have to deal with security. If you want to make something safer, you have to make it less convenient. The safest possible thing for the AUR is for it to not exist. Now, obviously, that's not exactly a very convenient packaging solution. So, you have to make these trade-offs like, okay, is it worth having a delay for package adoptions? How important are package adoptions? Do we even want to have package adoptions? Or if something gets orphaned, does it just get archived on the repo and it's like a whole separate thing? And then if somebody wants to take over that package, they need to then make a whole new package that then like flags you for taking over an existing package name. And then if you're going to do that, do you just want to have human review? Do you want to have AI review? What do you want to do to ensure this is safe? Or do you just want it to be a free-for-all and you can do basically anything you want within the like confines of naming things, and it has to be in a Git repo with a certain structure for the AUR? I don't know. This is going to be something that the Arch team is going to have to spend a lot of time worrying about, and honestly, I wish the best for them. Because it is not an easy situation they're in right now.